I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that. And only the first part of this 9-parter. Like, damn, I was not ready. But that was an incredibly shocking, but also incredibly amazing episode of Attack on Titan. Like, if this is only part 1 of this 9-parter, we're in for something nuts. And I'm so excited to talk about it. So, let's start with part 1, shall we? What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation, no such for anything, and everything animation, including TV and movies as well. I'm your host, Jackson Small. Welcome back to Attack on August. Welcome to the first part of the giant 9-parter that is the struggle for Trost, titled First Battle. This is, again, the series continuing to improve upon itself. Like, it just keeps getting better and better. Like, starting with episode, what was it? 3. With humanity's comeback, like, it was at an 8, then it was at a 9, and then this is an incredible, amazing episode I literally have no problems with. Like, oh my goodness, this episode is everything that I was not expecting, but I'm so glad it happened. Except for one moment that I legitimately did not see coming and gave me Yu Yu Hakusho flashbacks. But let's discuss it all in detail as best as I can. This is a pretty wild episode, to say the very least, and there is a lot to talk about, so I'll just read off the little overview, then we'll go over each little moment one by one. Not all the moments, just the ones that I think are the most important. So let's dive in. Here's the overview. Eren's fight with the Colossal Titan that was teased at the ending of the last episode comes to an abrupt halt when the creature vanishes without a single trace. The cadets are entrusted with the defense of the city, causing many to panic or outright lose hope, and Mikasa worries for Eren's life. When the battle begins, Eren's squad is quickly decimated by the invading Titans. In other words, pretty much all those cadets from the training episodes prior are all dead. Yeah, that's how you up the stakes of your show. You take all those promising new cadets, and you immediately kill them off. Like, jeez, I knew some were gonna die, but I didn't know that pretty much all of them were gonna die. Like, jeez. Freaking brutal. Armin is saved from the brink of death by Eren, but you know what? We're gonna save that for the end. So this is the first episode where we actually get to see one of these soldiers running along the Titan, aka you get to see the animation go full Demon Slayer, and it is freaking crazy. The way that it animates the soldiers flying around in their mobility gear or spinning around trying to attack these Titans, like, it is some of the most jaw-dropping, insanely cool animation that I've seen in a while. And keep in mind, that's in comparison to a ton of other anime that I watch pretty much regularly. So if you're able to impress me, you have done something right. This is also an episode where we see a little bit of the corruption from the inside wall from the highest jurisdiction of this little society. So let's go through it step by step here. So Eren tries to attack this Titan, and right when he's about to land a killing slash right on the weak spot on the back of their neck, it disappears, like out of nowhere, and just leaves Eren dangling in the air. But there is a hole in the wall, leaving a big army of normal Titans to come walking through. In other words, the wall is breached again, and they have to evacuate the city. But this time, we actually get to see some evacuation. So, it's not like Shiganshina, where pretty much everyone was murdered. Okay, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. There's just so much to talk about with this episode. I don't know how to segment it properly, but I guess we'll just go in chronological order. First up, while the soldiers are trying to deal with the Titans that are coming through the wall, we get a peek into the lordship and who rules this overall domain, known as Lord Wald. And he's meeting with this soldier named Pisces. I believe that's how you pronounce it, Pisces, something like that. And this guy is acting so nonchalant and uncaring. Like, for lack of a better term, the dude's an asshole. Because he steals Wald's bottle of booze, and when one of his soldiers comes in to alert them that the walls of Maria have been breached, instead of staying to defend the Lord in case they try to go through the other wall, he just leaves with his soldier and takes the bottle of booze with him. Like, asshole. That is a grade A asshole move. And then after that, you have the soldiers starting to panic because they've already breached the wall, which means they technically already failed at their job. And they are noticeably terrified, especially Jean, who's acting like a cocky coward. Like, he's just about to walk out, and then Aaron just pins him against the wall and, like, rants in his face. And considering how Jean's been a bit of a douche for pretty much the majority of the episodes that he's in, this was cathartic. So then after that, the cadets all rush in to try to defeat these Titans, and it pretty much goes about as well as you'd expect, including Thomas. Yeah, one of those characters. Again, most of the cadets are just outright killed off. And Thomas is one of the first ones that are shown on screen, and it's brutal. Like, we don't see the final results of his death, but it's brutal, because he's hanging off this bell tower. One of these Titans literally jumps in the air, lands on the tower, and immediately gets half of the dude in his mouth. Pretty much saying, yeah, he's dead. He's done. It's over with. So then following that, they keep trying to fight off these Titans, including Armin, and Armin is obviously struggling because Aaron tried to rush at these Titans after the rage of seeing his friend Thomas killed right in front of him. But it doesn't go too well for Aaron, surprisingly. I was expecting this to be one of those shows where the main protagonist has some kind of plot armor, but no, he does not, because almost immediately, before he can even get a slice in, the Titan bites his damn leg off. Like, yikes. Ugh. I was not expecting that, to say the least. And then he's laying there, and seeing his friend laying there leaves Armin in a state of shock, which leaves him open to being, well, picked up and almost eaten by the Titan. And right when it looks like he's about to die, and he flashes back to the time when Aaron and Mikasa saved his life, Aaron suddenly appears, grabs his hand, throws him out of the Titan's mouth, while Aaron, with only one leg, sits in this Titan's mouth, keeping his mouth open for a brief period of time, with his swords in his teeth, and he gives these final words to Aaron, talking about how he needs to see the outside world. And it is soul-crushing, because this is probably one of those moments where you expect, like, oh, the protagonist is going to find a way out of this and kill the Titan. No, this isn't that at all. This is like the shock of when Goku died so early on in Dragon Ball Z, when he was first killed off by Raditz in the Saiyan Saga, when he sacrificed himself to defeat his older brother. Because after that little scene and that awesome badass shot, Aaron dies. Yeah, the main protagonist of the entire show dies right away in only the first part of this 9-part conglomerate. Like, I was shocked. Like, I was like, oh, no way they're gonna... Oh, damn, they killed him off. Like, I was legit shocked seeing Aaron go out so quick. And his death is brutal, too, because as the Titan devours and bites him down because he can no longer hold the swords up to keep his mouth open, it bites his friggin' arm off. Like, jeez, I was not expecting such a brutal death for the main protagonist of the show so early on. But I give the creators a lot of credit for having the balls to actually do that. Again, it gave me Yu Yu Hakusho flashbacks when that character died in, like, the first episode. Because it's like, this is the main protagonist of your show, and you kill him off that quick. That immediately ramps up your stakes, and really makes things far more dire. And Armin's reaction to seeing his friend eaten right in front of him, and seeing his arm falling to the ground, it is haunting. It is shocking. And it is so well done. Like, I couldn't believe that they did that. They actually had the balls to do it. And that's how the episode ends. It just ends with Aaron's death. Color me shocked, to say the least. Sorry, I know I'm saying shocked a lot, but I don't know how else to describe it. It's shocking that Aaron dies this early on in the show. Like, damn. It's insane, is what it is. It's freaking insane. So that's pretty much the main part of this episode. It's pretty much all action, all the cadets falling to the Titans, showing their inexperience and how they weren't actually ready to graduate or even be fighters at all. And even Aaron dies. And out of the entire cadet troop that is in this one group, not Mikasa. Mikasa's sent back with the elite soldiers to the back of the wall of Maria. Armin is the only one that survives, and that's only because Aaron was able to save him before getting devoured himself. Jeez. To say the least, this episode is shocking. But that's also what makes it so great, because it's so unexpected. So, I'm done rambling. Let me talk about my overall thoughts. It is shocking, it is brutal, it is violent, it is emotional, and it is insanely well animated. It is a hell of a start to this 9-parter. Again, huge props to the creators for having the balls to kill off one of its main characters so early on. Very excited to see where it goes in part 2. Final verdict for this episode is an easy 10 out of 10. The shock of Aaron's death at the very end of the episode is more than enough to justify getting a perfect score, because I did not see it coming. And it made it a lot more effective than it probably would have been. And that's it. That's pretty much the entire episode. Shocking, brutal, violent, and pretty much everything that episode 2 should have been. And then some. So, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see how it continues next time with Struggle for Trost Part 2, also known as The World the Girl Saw.